live on the page for the show or just the radio station page? Okay, perfect. Hello, and welcome to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP and Stacy D.
Stacy D!
What's up, Stacy?
People?
We are not in the station today. We are broadcasting remotely, so let's just hope that all of that goes well. But I think we're good to go. You can catch us here every Tuesday at 2:00 Central Standard Time. You can catch the show at KUAW.org, on TuneIn, YouTube, Facebook, on either the KUAW Facebook page or the Facebook page for the show. Just type in Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable, and also on your Alexa smart speakers. Well, that is if your Alexa works better than my Alexa. My Alexa, we got a hard-headed heifer up in here. Our Alexa don't do anything that she don't feel like doing, okay? Our Alexa is, I hope you all is better. And Stacy, you let me know if yours works better. Our Alexa either has oppositional defiant disorder or dementia.
That's fine. She don't have any problem.
Ours is diagnosed because
well, you would give a diagnosis to yours. Yes, you would.
I had to, because we have had our Alexa for about 2 years. And so in Alexa years, because it's not quite dog years, but in Alexa years, like our Alexa is like a teenager, which means oppositional defiant disorder, not dementia.
Not dementia.
This
maybe it might be the worker, the person.
I don't know. Well, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you how it goes. And you let me know if this is how it goes at your house. Okay. Now, I'm like, Alexa, play KUAW radio. This is what I get. Blue light spinning with an attitude. Alexa, can you play songs by Patti LaBelle? With an attitude, nothing. So I'm like, Alexa, what's wrong with you, heifer?
And then what she says?
If you're experiencing an emergency, shut up, Alexa. Shut up, Alexa. Like, I told Alexa, you got 2 jobs in this house, okay? You only play music and work as a cooking timer. We don't have you turning on lights, turning off lights, setting alarms. You got 2 jobs and you can't do your 2 jobs right. So at this point, Nadine, because her office, I'm in my office now, her office is across the hall, but her office is right above the kitchen. So she yells downstairs, right? She's like, unplug her. What? Unplug her.
What is she be doing?
She won't do what I tell her to do. I'm trying to get her to play something. And so Alexa, Sashi Boo will be sitting there and I tell Alexa to do something. Sashi looks at Alexa like, Daddy, this heifer's bad. And then look at me like, what you gonna do? Because she's not doing what you say to do. She's not doing what you say to do. So I'm like, I unplug her. I plug her back in. Alexa, play songs by Janet Jackson, because I'm still agitated, okay? So I'm still screaming at Alexa, okay? Finally, she decides that she's gonna go ahead and play what I asked her to play. And I'm just like...
Maybe you need to speak nicer to her, JP. Be a little nicer.
I start off nice.
Because that's how I speak to mine. Nice.
Alexa, play song.
Come over and say something, and she won't act right. But
Alexa be acting.
I can say something, and King can say something, and she's just fine.
Let me tell you, I haven't told Alexa, please. All I said is, Alexa, play songs by Patti LaBelle. Alexa, play songs by Janet Jackson. Alexa, play KUAW radio. I'm going to try saying please, but I'm telling you, Stacy D, if this does not work, you're going to see an Alexa out in my front yard.
Call me tonight and let me know.
Front yard.
Call me tonight and let me know how she goes, okay?
I'm going to throw that heifer out into the front yard. Let me tell you, by the time I'm done fighting with Alexa, I'm the one with dementia. She's still the unruly teenager with oppositional defiant disorder. Parents out there. Let me tell you, you parents listening to the show who have teenagers, if you want us to cover the diagnosis of oppositional defiant disorder because your teen acts like Alexa, hit us up in the chat and we will do it.
Most definitely.
I got an unruly teenager up in here. Yes, all right, Stacy D, what's going on in your world, Stacy D?
Okay, well, not nothing really going on in my world, but I have okay, so last week we discussed aggressively stupid. I think we got to bring that back for this topic that I have.
Somebody's guilty. Somebody.
Bing, 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 bing. She sure is. So, we as women, we love doing things with our hair. I'm on the internet. No, I was up late night because I don't sleep well. And it was on Entertainment Tonight. They were talking about a young lady who used Gorilla Glue on her hair instead of using Got to Be Glue because she didn't have anything else because she said it read it's all purpose. Okay. Gorilla Glue. Why did you buy that Gorilla Glue? You bought that Gorilla Glue because you wanted something to adhere really, really good and didn't want it to. And I understand you want your hair to lay down. That's like the same way of me going to get me some spray paint to spray these grays on the edges. What's the difference?
I didn't know she did it on purpose.
Yes, she did it on purpose.
I thought she accidentally grabbed the wrong thing.
No, she didn't have any hairspray. She was all out of Got to Be Glue. I mean, Got to Be Glue, I believe. I can't use it. It breaks me out. But she was all out of that. So she went and got that.
Gorilla, it was on purpose. See, you know what? On the news, they wanted to be nice. They did not say that she did this on purpose. But here's the thing. Her head was hard as a rock. Like her hair.
And it looks really cute. It's really together and not going anywhere. It's clearly not going anywhere. She's been to the emergency room and everything. And get this, she's trying to sue Gorilla Glue because it says all purpose, but it does not say all purpose for your head. Come on now.
They did end up releasing.
I think she was stupid.
They ended up releasing a statement saying, please don't put this on your hair. Here's the thing. Her hair was looking good, though.
It was looking good. It was. I was like, ooh. And how long is it going to stay?
A black plastic surgeon is going to do a $12,000 procedure to take care of it and fix it free of charge. So what is she suing for? She's not spending any money.
Not spending any money, but she's still trying to get money.
Because you can't sue. She can't sue someone and then get a free procedure. The plastic surgeon should be like, well, if you suing, you need to get $12,000 because I need my money back because I set your hair free. Because her hair.
JP, say that again. Say it again. He gonna do what?
He set her hair free. But It looks so good. I was trying to figure out. I was like, well, just leave it like that.
It do look good.
You wear it like that for like another 10 or 15 years because
it's gonna last that long. Would it last that long?
Well, here's the thing. It sat into her scalp, which should prevent new growth from taking place. She got a hairdo for life.
I wonder how much did she spray?
She need to ride this out. She need to ride it out.
They might make a story about her.
Oh my God. Well, listen. I probably should not laugh at her because I learned a very valuable lesson about a product myself this week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm in the shower minding my own business. Listening to Kevin Hart radio. He was interviewing Jerry Seinfeld, who is a comedy genius. Okay, Jerry Seinfeld.
He's really good.
He finds humor in anything. Stuff you know. Okay, I digress. And so I'm in the shower and I run out of my Ivory shower gel. Now, mind you, I have to use Ivory shower gel because I have very, very sensitive skin. Like them perfumey shower gels, they tear me up. Like they rip my skin, like welts on my skin. My doctor has prescribed prescription cream for my skin. I call it magic cream because I put it on the kids. Like it clears up everything. Okay. And so I run out of my Ivory. I look over and I see that Nadine has some peppermint soap
Don't do it
in the shower. And so I've seen this peppermint soap before because when we go see my mother-in-law, she uses it and we use it, I use it as a hand soap. It's in the shower. It's like organic, all natural or something like that. So I'm like, well, I'm half dirty. I got to make something happen. So I get my scrunchie in. I put the peppermint soap on there. It's smelling all good. It's smelling so good, Stacy D. And so I'm handling all my business, okay? Well, apparently, when peppermint hits certain parts of your body, it causes a cooling reaction.
And then what's the next reaction?
Well, it started off as a pleasant sensation. Mm-hmm. The problem is it kept cooling and kept cooling. My personals was in Antarctica messing with this, okay? Then my armpits got real cool. And here's the thing, I got very sensitive armpits too, okay? Like I cannot use regular deodorant. I can only use antiperspirant. If I use regular deodorant, it'll rip a layer of skin off my armpits, okay? So at this point, I'm getting very nervous because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go through the whole day's therapy sessions with my arms up like this because my pits are burnt up. And my magic cream cannot help with no armpits. This soap kept cooling and cooling and cooling. I'm scrubbing trying to get it off. Okay, because my personals was in Antarctica while I was still here in Kansas City. This soap kept cooling. After I rinsed it off, I get out the shower, I dried off, I'm fully dressed. I didn't stop cooling until about 30 minutes after I got out of the shower. So I really can't laugh about Gorilla Glue lady because like I put peppermint on.
So what did you learn from this, JP?
Peppermint will hurt you. Peppermint is too cold for some parts of the body. Stacy D, do not.
Okay, we're gonna move on from the peppermint with JP.
Yeah, we gotta
go. Give me a headline, JP. Give me a headline.
Okay, this is what's going on in the news. They started the trial for Trump
former president,
in front of the Senate.
True.
They are killing it, okay? They presented, this is how they opened it up. They presented First act he committed was claiming that the election was stolen from him when he lost by 7 million votes. Okay, 306 electoral votes to his 232, which is the same margin that when he defeated Hillary. Ooh, it still hurts to say that. It still hurts to say that.
But it happened.
I love Hillary. Okay. The same margin that he termed a landslide. He termed it a landslide when he defeated Hillary by that much, but now it's a stolen election. So they presented that. Then December 12th, he tells his cult followers, quote, "We have just begun to fight." So they're laying the foundation, like he created this insurrection, okay? December 19th, he told his followers that the Capitol building was the designated battleground to, quote, "stop the steal," stating that, quote, "on January 6th, be there, it will be wild," end of quote. Now that makes it premeditated. Okay, and that's what they were trying to get at, is like, he did send these people there. This was premeditated. Yes. He told them to show up at that building at the exact time that the counting of these electoral votes was going to be taking place. So that was on the 19th, December 19th. On the 6th, right before he sent them there, he told them, quote, "If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong," end of quote.
End of quote.
They did such a wonderful job these are opening statements, okay, that Trump's attorney, who presents as being somewhat incompetent.
It was sort of funny. It was really hilarious. Like, where did you get your law degree?
This, like, he found some fool from around the way who probably does not even have a law degree, because he admitted that they presented such a good case that it threw him off track from the case that he was trying to present. And then they ended it with, at least the person who was speaking at that time, because it's still going on, but they ended it by presenting that those aides who were in his presence at the time stated that he watched all of this unfold on television with joy and pleasure. He, quote, reveled in it. Here's the problem, though. Now, this is a really good case. The problem is, it takes 17 senators. They are still not going to convict him, because when they have, this is the Republican Party, when they are in a position to choose between humanity and being a politician, they're going to choose to be a politician, which is disgraceful. It's disgraceful. So that's the current headline that, everybody's, watching this, and I gotta admit, it's good. It's good. It's good to watch. Like, they're doing a great job.
Oh, okay. It is. I have it recorded and I'm watching it every night. I'm really, really, truly enjoying it. So we're going to skip over some things. So what is the question of the day, JP? Which is a real good one.
Okay. The question of the day today is my husband cheating on me by watching porn? Here's the thing. I actually have assigned porn to some couples who come to therapy. Under these circumstances, I have given the assignment to watch porn when it is a situation where the couple is kind of needing to spice some things up a little bit, and they're, they want some ideas. And so I'll have both people in the couple, the husband and the wife, to, bring some porn into the bedroom and for them to experiment and try some different things. Now, what this does is it opens the door for them to actually seek out porn that has activities in it that they are actually curious about, but they don't have to admit that they're curious about. They get to pretend like, oh, I didn't know it was going to do that. But let's try it out.
Let's try it
out. So I have done that. Here's the thing. Under the current circumstances of the pandemic, I am getting this question a lot. I'm getting a lot of couples in because of porn problems. I'm actually getting a lot of men in who have developed addictions to porn. They kind of were struggling with porn before the pandemic, but then you close somebody off in their house for a year, and what started off as a little bit of a problem has turned into a full-blown addiction. And so I have men coming individually to address it, and then I have couples addressing it because wives are like, this, I feel cheated on. This fool's, he's watching porn, a lot of it, and I'm having a problem with it. Pornhub, here's something to think about to give you an idea how much porn is going on during the pandemic. Pornhub is the 10th most visited site in the world, getting more hits than Netflix, Yahoo, and Amazon.
Amazon?
Right. Because like, who's getting more hits than Amazon? I'm on Amazon like every day. I just got off Amazon.
I did
too. Because I was on Amazon.
Oh, we was on Amazon.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's been greatly increased since the pandemic started. When I am addressing this with people, with men who are struggling with it, one thing to look at is, does he have a certain particular porn star that he follows? Because that's where it kind of crosses the line to psychologically being in a relationship with this porn star. If he's only watching one porn star. Another thing that I take and challenge people to take a look at is if he is following porn stars, maybe not a particular one, but porn stars who all possess certain physical characteristics that are really different from how his wife looks. Okay. And so if I have a gentleman who is like, his wife is really thin and all his porn stars are like 350 thicky thick, like 350 and above. Well, then in that situation,
JP, hold on. 350 and above is not thicky thick. There are levels to this.
Okay. Can you, because I was talking about a particular person. I didn't break it down to his level. What are the levels?
Okay. So, you have the slim and slender. Then
what range is that?
Okay. It depends on people's different frame of their body, but I'm saying probably from like 110 to 140 maybe.
So a hungry model, basically.
We're not going to be negative. We're not doing any body shaming here, okay?
I'm trying to visualize. We're not going to body shame. This is true. I'm trying to visualize. It sounds like you might have just described somebody who might be a little hungry. But go ahead. Go ahead, Stacy.
Very slender. And then you got that 140 to like that 180, and they sort of thick, Then you got that 180 to maybe 220, and they thicker than a king size Snicker.
Is that thicky thick or that's
thicky thick?
That's thicky. That's thicky
like
thick.
That 220, 240, 230. Yeah, that's thicky thick. Thicker than a king size Snicker. Okay.
Okay.
Then you get that 240 to like 300. You are a noodle away from being obese. And I'm not body shaming. And I'm a Black woman. And I'm voluptuous.
Well, when it comes to the definition.
And then, hold on now. And then when you hit that 300 mark, you are like, that's that BBW is what they call. Big, beautiful women. We just keep them as BBWs. Big, beautiful women.
Okay. So for those men, and we're just using this as an example of
and this is
of a
JP
characteristic.
and D's. These are our views.
Right. In those situations, I do have to address with those men and ask them, what do you think it means that you're only looking at porn stars who have these characteristics that your wife does not possess? Because in that instance, it's like, it's more than just living out a fantasy. And I can understand the wife feeling like it's cheating, it's infidelity, because she's like, I don't look like that, especially if it's like a totally different race, because sometimes I'll get men in and they are watching porn with women of a totally different race than their wife. And so the wife is like, what am I supposed to do with that? Because I can't change my race. And this is clearly what you're really into. And so a lot of times we do have to take a look at that. And what I will do is work with those men on, because a lot of times you have to be careful what you expose yourself to, because it can become almost a necessity for your arousal. It's kind of like,
if you do your mind,
you think about it, it's like erotic asphyxiation. Yes. People who are into erotica and the choking and
the whips and the pain of it. Yeah.
Once they have exposed themselves to that, it can become almost necessary in order for them to experience a sexual climate. And so when I have men who have been drowning themselves in this porn, and it's to the point a lot of times, and this might be a little surprising for people to think about, but a lot of times it gets to the point where they're no longer having sex with their wives. That's the reason why the wives feel cheated on, because you'll have the wife who's laid up in the bed butt naked, like, ready. Get some of this. And then you have the husband or the boyfriend, he's in the living room masturbating to porn, and she's not doing it for him anymore. But he has oversaturated his brain with the image of the particular porn star or that group of porn stars possessing those certain characteristics. And then he gets back there to her and she's not doing it. And so in those instances, what I do is have those men to gradually ease away from that particular porn star or type of porn stars and gradually ease his way back to those images that are closer in characteristics to his wife. All of this is a part of trying to basically wean the person all the way off the porn. And usually what I respect about men who have become addicted to porn, by the time they get to therapy, they're like, I want to be off of porn. Like, I want to be done with it. I'm not trying to control it. I want to be done with it. And so we work on that process. Another thing that I have to do with them is take some of the realness out of porn, because a lot of times men make the mistake of absorbing porn as if it is 100% real, when in actuality is not. A porn scene that lasts 30 minutes could have taken all day for them to shoot.
All day long. Cut.
They're
Go
cutting.
Get you a sandwich, get you something to drink. Take a break.
Yes. And that's what I have to help them to see, because a part of the excitement of it is they're thinking this is how real sex is. And the wife can't compete with that. She's like, well, I am not a porn star. Okay. And so I have to help them to see that half the time the porn stars are not what you are seeing. By the time it's retouched and all the blemishes are removed, and
hold on, JP. the more expensive movies, because some of the other ones you see all the cigarette marks, burns, and everything on them. Yeah, some of them are really bad.
Okay, well, I ain't talking about those.
No, we're gonna talk about
I'm not talking about those. And so
the upper budget ones, not the lower budget ones. Yes.
Right. Porn is so accessible. Why is anybody watching low budget porn anyway? Like you can see any porn and they're not paying for porn. But I have to explain to them, this looks like it was seamless, and this was incredible 30, 45 minutes, an hour. They spent all day taking it, filming that. They've retouched it, they've cut it, they've split it. You know, the guy, he looks like he just went all that time. Truth of the matter, not necessarily the case. They use certain, numbing agents to prolong things. Mm-hmm. And so just helping them, planting that seed that what you are watching is not real, it's fake, helps them to in the process of disconnecting from it and getting back to real regular sex, which is where their wife lies, and trying to get them back into the bedroom
and more intimacy of it. I want to touch on that with you, JP, but we will come back to that after our brief
commercial break. We need to take a break. Yes.
You are watching JP and Stacy D.
Okay. How are we doing with the time? 2:35.
It's 2:35. We got 25 minutes.
App and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
Where you at, baby? Sure, I'm at my first alma mater, Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. CAU was the first HBCU in the southern United States. Shout out to our affiliate ATL Talks in Atlanta, Georgia, and everyone getting out there to vote for those 2 Senate seats. So we love you.
That's what I'm talking.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAWN, of and about our community.
This is the last weekend before Christmas, and on Blues Time in the City, we're wrapping up our all Christmas blues and Southern Soul program.
Gene Bailey.
We have a very special guest that you will definitely enjoy, and we'll hear from some of the artists that sing the Christmas blues. Join me, Gene Bailey, for Blues Time in the City this weekend before Christmas, right here.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you.
Welcome back to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP and Stacy
D.
That's right. Okay, so we are discussing the question of the day, which is my husband cheating on me by watching porn, and discussing when porn has been appropriate for couples who are trying to spice things up a little bit, but because porn is really highly addictive, very highly addictive, more so than what people think. And I think a lot of these men, they underestimate how addictive porn is. They have no idea that it can turn into what it turns into, because I have seen men in therapy who are looking at porn all during the day. Like, they're taking breaks at work in the middle of the day to look at porn. They're looking at it over their lunch break. Like, in the course of a day, they can look at porn like 7, 8, 9 times. And I have had men who have become so addicted to it that they're masturbating on a level that they have created a bit of rawness.
Oh, wow.
Around their personals.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Which makes it difficult, because if your penis is not okay, then you can't really have sex with your wife anyway. But this explains why the wives are infuriated. And a lot of times couples allow this to go on longer than what it probably should, because initially the wife is, well, he could be out having sex with actual other women who are in this characteristic, these traits that he has, grown to be highly excited by. And so they overlook it for a while, because it's like, well, like, he's in the bathroom masturbating. He's not out like having sex with some other woman. But it gets to that point where it interrupts a person's flow through life. They're spending too much.
You know what, JP? I think with the male population, a lot of males, they probably get introduced to porn at really an early age. I'm just thinking about back in our age group, they were looking at magazines, probably even before they were even able to have sex.
Well, and in modern society, which this goes into our modern parenting question, because our modern parenting question for today is, how do I, as a parent, monitor for my kids accessing porn? And this is coming up a lot because the schools, they do not really have any safety measures on the school laptops. And so a lot of kids are able to look at porn on their school laptop, and then also on their cell phones. And kids are getting cell phones as young as 8. I know 8-year-olds who have cell phones. And so the parents are at a loss for, like, what do I do? My kid is becoming addicted to porn and I don't know how to stop it, which is the difference between when a kid would, dig into that cardboard box in the corner of the garage where their daddy had hid all the Playboys. Or even before then, when kids would look at the Sears catalog and the women in their bra and they are all excited.
Exactly, and get excited.
It has progressed since then. And that was never even intended to be pornographic.
No, it wasn't. But JP, I want to step back a little bit, because I am a married woman. And I do want to go back to the whole husbands watching porn and everything. Not saying that King does, but in my eyes, and this is only in my eyes, this is only Stacy D's eyes, if I was to come out the bedroom and catch King on the couch watching porn, I would like rush back into my bedroom, put on me some sexy lingerie, and come back in there. It's on and cracking, because she done got through with the foreplay and it's about to be on and cracking because the porn done got him all the way started.
He's ready for you.
But wait a minute. And the one thing that I'm going to give my king that porn can is I'm going to give him that intimacy. I'm going to do the part of whispering in his ears, kissing on his side of his face, just the natural touch of it, my natural soft touch. And then when he see his thicker than a king size Snicker in this lingerie, listen, I done took off the hair bonnet. I done took the hair bonnet off and then whipped the hair down, and
you done got totally ready.
Hey, we might go to sleep on the floor in the living room on the rug, because
you thanking Stacy, you thanking the porn for getting him ready.
Exactly. and that's what made me somewhat do, thank you. That's less foreplay that I'm gonna have to do, and we can get right on into the good. You know, that's me. That's only Stacy.
See, and here's the thing: what you are saying is right, though, for those couples who are using porn to kind of ignite some things, get some things started. Okay, absolutely. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
So I think when it gets to that extreme, that's when they're like, they're not into the wife. But I like what you are saying. That is something that for women who their husbands are not necessarily addicted
all
to
the way
porn,
there, but might be close.
They just caught him, you know, having a good time, having his own personal party. I like what you're saying. If you come in and you catch him having his personal party, join the party.
Join the party. And I don't need no invitation, and I'm not going to be tardy for the party.
In fact, you hosting the party.
I'm hosting the party. The hostess with the mostest. Do you hear me? The hostess with the mostest.
That's right. Stacy D.
And I'm telling you, and sometimes ladies, when they do the porn, it's really because we are women. We are tired. We're going to work. We're cleaning the house. We're coming home, being your housemaid. We have so many jobs, and sometimes you just be like, you know, he come over there and you in the kitchen cooking, and the kids, you know, we're empty nesters. But if I'm in there in the kitchen cooking, and he hit me a little bit, hey, it's right there in the kitchen.
Because
you don't get on the stove.
When it's time to handle the business, it's time to handle the business.
It's time to handle ring.
And at that point, you trying to pull a fool away from the porn. So that is something. Hopefully, our listeners will appreciate that perspective on it. Also, like, do not be threatened by the porn. In those situations where your husband, he does not have a diagnosable addiction, he's just having a party, which requires some communication on the part of the couple. Like, have some conversations about what exactly, where are you at with this? Be able to talk about it. Like, where are you at with this? Are you craving it? Is it an addiction? Are you losing your attraction to me? And, you know, discuss where this is at. And if couples would do that early on, it could prevent it from escalating to the point of where it's this extreme addiction. Because what I am talking about that I'm seeing in therapy are those worst case scenarios.
Yeah, you might get the worst case scenarios. But if we as wives and girlfriends and stuff, if you don't make yourself, remember to keep your pretty. You got to stay pretty to keep the prize.
Now give some examples of that, Stacy D. So let everybody know what you mean when you say keep your pretty.
Keep your pretty is like, sometimes it might be cold, like wintertime. Do not put that grandma nightgown on. You might be cold. But put your little a nice nightie on. You know, like I said, take off the bonnet. If you get your hair done in the morning, take the bonnet off and go to bed, you know, with the hair flowing.
Right.
Those are extra things. Just how about this? You get in the bed with no clothes. He get in there and be like, oh, baby, you ain't got no clothes on. I know, baby, for you.
That's going to ignite something. Yes. That's going to ignite something.
That's going to ignite something. And then, wait a minute. The husband doesn't always have to initiate it.
Because it is a turn on.
Yes, it is.
For a lot of men feel this way. It is a turn on when their wife initiates.
Initiated. It's fun.
Now, real quick, Stacy D, because you touched on the granny nightgown, I need you to touch on those cotton drawers too, real quick. Tell the ladies about them cotton drawers, that whether or not it's okay to wear those when you're trying to get a party started?
When you try and get a party started, go ahead on and put the thongs on. I call those right now panties because they're not going to stay on long. They're just for right now. Put them on right now because they're coming out and look, and put them 5-inch heels on. When I get dressed up, because I am 5 foot nothing, whenever I go out and put my pretty on, with me and King, I always have 5 inches on. Always. You have to keep your sexy and do work out and do some crunches and you have to do some little things.
Putting those heels on is actually starting the foreplay before y'all even get home.
And I'm gonna tell you a trick, ladies, that'll really get them going. When you looking cute and you got your heels and you bring your leg up and you hold on to your heels, that let them know you're ready. Now what you gonna do? I'm holding the heel. Listen, you got the heel with your leg up in the heel. What are you telling him?
Okay, Stacy D.
You tell him I'm the porn star, baby.
Stacy D, we gotta wrap this up.
I hope my kids are not watching today. Are the kids online? I hope they're not online.
We're going too far. We're going too far. Look, the kids are not doing their virtual schooling right now. We talked about that.
I know. I hope my nieces and nephews, my baby nieces and nephews, and also talking about the monitoring parenting real quick. I need 2 more families, 2 more. I have 3. I need 2 more families to hit us up on our either on our Facebook page, or you can either email me, because I'm really trying to get this started before next quarter, because I really want to get in there and see what's going on with my.
I think I may have one for you. I'll know by tomorrow.
I need one more. And you guys, you'd be really surprised. Someone coming in your home and doing in-home parenting with the mask on. We're all going to have on masks. That is really, I'm giving you some free, and I don't do free that often do a JP.
Not typically.
Stacy D is all about the coins, but I'm coming in because this is a help.
Yes, it puts you in their environment so that you can really see what the obstacles are to getting the kids on board with being compliant with the virtual learning. So this is great, and I can't wait to hear how this unfolds.
Oh, I can't wait for it to unfold.
Right. All right, Stacy D. Where are we at right now? We need to.
I'd like for you to start the this is Black History Month, everyone, and JP is going to lead us into our Black History story for today.
All right. Here, we don't have much time. One of the things that I was thinking about that is interesting to note, because for Black History Month, we always, cover broad national heroes in the struggle. And so what I was wanting to do is take a look at some local Black history that parents can discuss with their kids, some things that they can share. We don't have a lot of time to cover it, but something that people don't think about and that kids are unaware of is that we're in Twin Cities, because a lot of people watching the show are not here in Kansas City. There's Kansas City, Kansas, there's Kansas City, Missouri. And Missouri and Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, Twin Cities. Missouri was a slave state. Kansas was a free state. And so Missouri actually played an integral role in the Underground Railroad. And so there is a museum in Kansas City, Kansas. It's located in the old Vernon Elementary School building. It's no longer being used as a school. It's on North 27th Street in KCK. And in there's a museum that has artifacts from homes and spots from this area, in that Quindaro area, that was a part of the Underground Railroad. And so that's something that I want parents to talk to their kids about, that, because they learn about the Underground Railroad and about Harriet Tubman, but they don't realize that you are actually living in an area that was a part of that. Because anyone enslaved in Missouri, and you're right next
door,
a free state, of course, it's going to play an integral role. And we take it for granted because, like, I'm in Kansas right now. I'm back and forth on the average to Missouri 2, 3, 4 times a day because my office is in Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm back and forth across State Line Road, and we take it for granted. But for our ancestors who were enslaved, to be enslaved in Missouri, knowing you are that close to freedom.
That close to freedom? Wow.
It put them in a position where they felt like we have to go for it. We have to. It's not like we're coming all the way from South Carolina. We're going from Missouri to Kansas, but at the same time, at that time, because you had to cross the river. And so it wasn't as easy as us driving back and forth between Kansas City, Kansas and Kansas City, Missouri. Like, they had to get across the river. And so this museum would be great for parents to, take their children to and help them to kind of learn about the history of how this area played a role in the Underground Railroad. Okay, so that is that for Black History Month.
Cool. We would like to thank everyone for tuning in today for Cognitions Speaking the Unspeakable with JP and Stacy D. Like us on Facebook. You can also email us for your questions and thoughts to speakingtheunspeakable 0608@gmail.com. This was really good, JP. I enjoyed today.
Yes, as did I. Remember, everyone, thanks for joining us today. And remember, worry about nothing
and pray about everything.
God bless and take care.
Bye-bye.